Today I'm taking a look at the Object 268, the Tier 10 Soviet tank destroyer that leads on from the 704. This vehicle here is a vehicle I've wanted for a very long time, and something interesting about this line, at least for me, is at every single tier from Tier 2 to Tier 9, my first vehicle of that tier was from this line. The only one vehicle that wasn't my first vehicle of that tier was the Tier 10. And it was purely because I got to the 704. I didn't mind the 704, I thought it was fun. And I actually liked this thing a lot on the test server as well whenever I played it. But the problem I had was this thing was worth 301,000 XP whenever I was grinding towards it whenever I first started out. I got like 60,000 XP through the grind on the 704 and then stopped. Because honestly 301,000 XP, I just got part way through it and just went, you know what, I'm done. And just went on to play other vehicles, and it was actually kind of funny. I remember when I was playing the SU-152, and the only reason why I started playing other lines was because of some random dude I came across in a game, I think 3 separate times, and the guy had sort of seen I only was playing tank destroyers. I kept playing the same tank destroyers again and again and again, and the guy I think saw my name 3 separate times in like 3 different games over the course of an hour, and the guy just said, look, I've seen you on a game on this map and this map, and I was like, how the hell is, what? how does he know? And he was like, dude, try playing a heavy tank. he just said try it and see what you think. Play the KV1. I was just like, okay, I guess I'll try it and see. Like, I probably won't like it. Then I tried it and was like, oh. And just sold the 704 after that there, because I just kind of started playing just heavy tanks after that point. So, oh, not 704. So I sold the SU-152, sorry, after that there, just because I just kind of went off tank destroyers after that point and started playing heavies. Then I went back onto that line again after a while, after I got to I think the IS, and then I got the ISU-152 and then the 704, then I got the IS-3 and then the, what you call it, the T10, or not T10, the IS-8 at the time. And yeah, there's one of like a whole history lesson here, but yeah, it was funny to look back on, just because I only played tank destroyers for like my first few thousand games. Then once I stopped, I was like, oh, suddenly I'm a lot more comfortable in what I'm doing. Because I was basically playing the tank destroyers as if I was playing heavy tanks, and as you can expect, that never really ended well. Also, I'm expecting to get blasted by artillery here because, well, big tank destroyer. And, well, it kind of makes sense for artillery to go for me considering the vehicle that I'm in. Now, one thing I will say that I really, really like about this tank is the gun is a lot more predictable than I would have guessed. Like, the gun is genuinely fun to use, and of course, god damn it, Batchat, seriously? You jackass. Sitting there aiming my gun, he just drives in front of my gun. God damn it, that was a clear shot I had in the STB1 as well, and that's a valuable tank to do damage to. But I love how predictable this gun is to use, because it's just such a satisfying gun. Its shell speed feels quick, its damage feels nice, the gun feels consistent as well, which is a really nice change of pace considering most tank destroyer guns feel fairly random. And I think I just blasted the house that was covering that guy, but hopefully somebody else will be able to finish him off, because yeah, I was going to say I think he's going to go unspotted before I can get the final shot off towards him. But let's see, annoyingly that guy should have been dead. There he is there again, and he's dead. Okay, nice. STB1s are a priority target these days for me, because I just find them to be one of the trickiest vehicles to fight against, just because of how good their gun depression is and how quick they fire. So I've just found over time that I really do like to kill those things early if I possibly can, just because of the way they are. And there's a Brigido and there's a Grill 15 right there. Finish off the grill. We know there's a Brigido up here, so that's sort of angle towards him, but there's also a Leo PTA over there. I am being fairly ballsy here, pushing forward like this here, especially considering I'm in a tank destroyer, but I figured I may as well try it and just see what happens. And you also saw me ricochet a shot there from the Grill 15. Now, this tank's armor is not really counted very often whenever you see them, because whenever you're in a tier 10 vehicle, most of the time you're just going to go straight through this thing like the armor's not even there. But that's unfortunate. I was confident that shot was going to hit there, but I think I sort of twitched the the reticle a little bit just as I was firing the gun, which I think probably threw that off. But the armor is usually just kind of ignored on this tank, especially in tier 10s, but the armor on this thing is good enough to the point that if you're not focused on where exactly you're aiming, you are going to bounce. That's probably the best way I can think of to really sort of phrase it, because it's got armor which is not going to be consistent. Like, it's not going to be consistently like amazing or anything out there, but it is good enough that if you're not focused on where exactly you want to shoot, then you're not going to do damage. So let's hopefully finish off these vehicles here that are near their base. I would like to hit that Progito if I possibly could, but unfortunately he's behind a fence, which annoyingly means I can't really see where he is, and my gun depression is kind of screwing me a little bit here. This is one of the big problems with this vehicle that I've found. The 5 degrees of gun depression really does throw you off. If this thing had 6 or 7 degrees, this thing would be honestly probably my favourite tank destroyer to play, at least right now, just because the combination of mobility and firepower. But it's that 5 degrees of gun depression that keeps throwing me off whenever I'm playing it. It just feels so much less flexible than you would hope it would be. And there he is. Let's see, sit still for a second. Nice. Okay, so that's, I think, about 3,700 damage I'm on right now. I guess it's not really a surprise that I like this thing, because it's pretty much based off of the IS-8. Well, this is what it was called whenever I was originally going for it. It's basically a T10 chassis with a 15 or 0.2 centimeter gun. There's no real reason why I wouldn't like this thing. It's a damn powerful vehicle whenever it's in the right circumstances. Now, one thing I want to be clear about though is I don't think I would recommend anyone else go for this thing. I got this thing recently just because I wanted to change of pace, because all the other tank destroyers I've been playing were pissing me off. But this one here, I genuinely am enjoying playing, and I hope I can get a shot towards this guy here. Unfortunately, no real visible target. Unfortunately, that shot didn't go where I needed it to, so no damage on the 60 TP. Although there's 60 TP there. Come on, stay still for a second. Do I go for you or... No, I'll go for you. And then let's see if I can side scrape here. I wonder if this will actually work. I've never tried side scraping in a 268, but it'd be funny if that actually worked, if that guy blasted me and it just did not work. So I think I'm going to finish this game off in just about 4,200 damage if I was guessing. But it would be nice if I could use this thing's fairly good mobility to get one more shot off at least. And I just realised I think I actually had a shot on this 257. I just didn't realise it, and yeah, I probably could have gotten over 4,500 damage there. Just I misjudged whereabouts that 257 was. I thought he was further back than he was, and I probably could have shot through that wall and got a shot into him, but unfortunately I didn't. So I wouldn't really recommend people getting this tank, at least right now, because it's decent. Like, I enjoy it personally, but I wouldn't really recommend other people play it because it's a bit of an awkward one. Like, it feels nice for me to play, but the lack of gun depression combined with the fairly large size of this vehicle, like, a lot of people will probably be looking at me after I said that, they're just being like, large size, what are you talking about, dude? But I mean, when you compare it to something like a Foch 155, it's a taller vehicle than that, so it has a larger frontal profile, and the armor on the front is nowhere near as good as the Foch 155s. And then when you compare it to the Grill 15, the Grill 15's okay, this tank's a lot bigger than I thought it was. Jesus, do you see the difference there? Jesus. Okay, I never thought to make that comparison. I just kind of assumed the Grill 15 was a lot smaller, but I guess not. And now I'm curious, what's the stealth like on these two vehicles? Bear in mind, this thing has practically a full stealth crew. Oh my god. This crew is missing 2 crew members without any stealth on them at all. And this thing... Wow. Also, I'm very curious now, is that actually affecting the camera rating? Holy shit. Okay, never mind. I was going to say that I thought the camera rating wasn't very good on the 268, but Holy shit. What's the camera rating like on this? Never mind, the camera rating's good on this thing. I mean, I'm not using... I focused this thing entirely around rate of fire, and the camera rating destroys the Grill 15 when it doesn't have a camo nano on it.